Okay, sorry about that. Welcome everyone to Bookkeeping Made Easy. We're the SBD Small Business Development Center at Iowa Western. I think I recognize most of you that have logged on. We are a free service for small businesses and for startups. We help with all sorts of things, and one of the things that we really emphasize is bookkeeping. Josh Baker is with me, and Josh is someone after this, whether you're using Lili software or accounting or QuickBooks or whatever software, Josh can set up appointments and help you get started, help you organize, and help you get a system for bookkeeping. So that's one of the free services that we offer among many, many others. So we sponsor Lunch and Learns about once a month. I don't have any more planned, but we are working on it this week and probably will have one up for late October, early November. So we'll make sure that you get that information. I do want to mention she was not able to come. We partner with these seminars with Nebraska Enterprise Fund, Chrissy Plunkett. Nebraska Enterprise Fund is a revolving loan fund that we brought over to Council Bluffs because we did not have one for our population. They're a great partner. We work with them a ton, and it's made all the difference in our business startups. So if you're interested in revolving loan funding, Chrissy and I work one-on-one together. So starting with me is the perfect way to go. So anyway, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Wendy Kaplan-Carroll, who is it's Lili Accounting, right?
It's Lili. Well, yeah, it's Lili Banking.
Lili Banking.
I'll explain.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yes. I'll let you do your bio and
I'll
your introduction.
Yes, I'll explain who I am and all of that good stuff. Thank you so much. And Josh, since you are an expert at organization and bookkeeping, please feel free to chime in. I'm sure we'll get some good questions that I won't be able to answer, and you will. So I'm so glad that you are here. So welcome everybody, and enjoy your lunch as we learn a little bit about simplifying your life when it comes to bookkeeping. So today we're going to share 3 actions to simplify your small business finances. So I am Wendy Kaplan-Carroll. I actually own my own, like you, I'm a business owner. I own my own business. It is actually a marketing firm. And I work with clients like Lili Bank, and I help my clients help small businesses through education. So I've been proudly working with Lili now for a couple of years, and we've done a ton of work with the SBDCs, which are your secret weapon. I don't know how secret the SBDCs are, but use your SBDCs because they are there with such support and expertise. But I've been educating along with Lili, and so happy to be here today to talk about simplifying your life, because that is what, I understand myself as a small business owner. We have a lot to do. We have to think about sales. We have to think about marketing. We have to think about the people we contract with or have to hire and bring on. We've got a lot to do. And one of the things we must definitely do is bookkeeping. And I'm going to simplify that for you and explain why we need to do it, give you 3 simple tasks to do, as well as debunk a few myths about bookkeeping. So really quickly, if you're not familiar with Lili, Lili's actually an SBDC ambassador, and we are a one platform for all your business finances. I'll talk to you about Lili more at the end, but Lili includes both banking and bookkeeping, smart bookkeeping, the ability to do invoicing and payments, and even tax planning tools. And the cool thing about Lili is all your banking and your bookkeeping is integrated into one system. Oh, I skipped onto the slide you weren't supposed to see. So darn it. Right. Okay. So I skipped. Sorry. All right. So into it. So what is bookkeeping? Bookkeeping, quite simply, is the process of recording and organizing and tracking all of your financial transactions in your business. So the money you make and the money you spend. And there are many benefits and reasons it's important to do it and to do it right. First of all, if you stay organized through the year and you're keeping track of your books through the year, it's going to make that tax time prep super, super easy. Once you have your records in order and your day-to-day finances are in order, it's going to help you make better decisions financially. Whether you can spend money on certain asset you might need, or potentially it'll help you with how you should be pricing a particular service offering, etc. So having those financial records in order is going to help you with better decision making. Again, that rolls into better cash flow management. You are always what we call ready for that IRS audit, just in case your business is audited. Your books are in order. You don't have to scramble to put things together. You're always ready. And if you're looking for outside investors, or if you're looking for loans, if you have your books in order, not only do you show up very professionally, but it's really going to make their decision making that much easier because everything is so much in order. So there's really great benefits to doing your bookkeeping and doing it correctly. And I'm going to give you 3 action steps, which we at Lili have created the acronym of RCR. I'm not sure how to say it, reserve, but there's 3 actions we need to take. We need to record, categorize, and reconcile. Record, categorize, and reconcile. So what do we mean by that? So when we say on a day-to-day basis, you should be recording your financial transactions, that means you're keeping a clear and organized record of all your money-related activity. Again, that's your income coming in and all of your expenses going out. So it's really, really important to gather all relevant documentation, and you could be doing it with digital assets, or I know a lot of people who are still doing it manually, or just typing it into a Google spreadsheet, but you have to have a system. Josh, are you agreeing with that? Do we need a system? Yes, you need a system. And that system, you need to track all your details, a date, a description, the amounts, and any relevant information. That's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be recording. So yesterday, I took a business trip. I had a drive it was about 180 miles. So I recorded my mileage. I recorded the parking lot. I had to pay $40 to park all day. I recorded my parking lot costs, and I also recorded my tolls. So I immediately recorded all of my expenses. And I urge you to have a way to do this really automatically or daily, because it will make life so much easier. So some tips: recording financial data is much easier when you have less places to collect it from. So many of us have we might have a couple business accounts and maybe a personal checking account that sometimes we use for business. And then we have, payments coming in from various places. It really, really makes it easier if you can have less places to track from than more. So again, less is more. Less places to collect your data from is really going to make it easier and more organized for you. And it is a best practice. As a business owner, you really need to have a separate account distinct from your personal account. It's best practice. It's something that we all really advise you to do as you are setting up your business. So all the income you have coming in can go into that bank account, and all of your expenses can be paid from that bank account. Yes, I know that sometimes it gets mixed up, especially potentially if you're a sole proprietor and haven't created like an LLC, but it's really, really important that you do separate. And again, it is a best practice as a business operator, and it is also just in general going to make you show up a little bit more professionally as well. Josh, because you're here and you're such an expert at this, do you want to add anything around this? Because I want my SBDC to get involved in this conversation. Do you have anything you want to add? I'm throwing you out there like without preparation, but I do that.
Kind of definitely to build off of what you said about doing it on a regular basis, recording your amounts. If you wait till, you'd say maybe 2 weeks, it's a lot harder for you to try to figure out where your costs and stuff were at. you lose receipts, so you don't know what you need to match up with whatever. So doing it on a daily basis is definitely a really good best practice. I know it sometimes is hard to do that. I do at least tell people that I work with at a minimum to do it at least once a week, because it's better to take 30, 40 minutes instead of waiting till the end of the month and you're sitting there for 5 hours trying to figure out where everything needs to go and everything needs to match up. So I would definitely say yes, that is a really good best practice to do that on a regular basis.
Thank you. Yeah, and believe me, I know people who don't even do it once a month. I was one of those people at one point. You know what? We get busy as small business owners. But if we do this, it really is going to make life a lot easier and one less thing to worry about. So the
I will
next
add
thing we
in.
need to do, yes, please. So
I'll add in just one quick thing too. Like, it's either not done, or because a business realizes I need to get it done, they hand it over to an accountant, which is great. However, you're handing your financials over to someone that only cares about getting paid themselves. So using a program, any program, and I'm going to go on a limb here. I suggest a computerized program built for bookkeeping that can help you calculate sales tax, do all of those things instead of Excel. It's so much worth the small price you pay for that service. But handing it over to an accountant, if you do that, we have a list of questions to ask accountants and make sure, that you have control of it. You can jump on your books anytime. You can add your receipts. You're not just relying on them, hooking into your bank account and things like that. So you need to remain control of that kind of situation.
And it too brings up a really good point. And now we're having a bit of a lunch and learn discussion, but I think it's important. Somebody asked me when choosing an accountant or a bookkeeper to actually do this for you, like, what are the things you can consider? I mean, there's going to be a time in your business life that you might be, you may need the extra hand of a bookkeeper. But one of the things, and you guys, Sue and Josh, you might want to chime in, is it's really important that if you do work with a bookkeeper, it's someone you trust. And I believe it's important for that person to have a general knowledge of your industry as well. Yeah. I run into a situation, or a friend of mine ran into a situation, they were running a media company. So they were invoicing, they were paying, broadcast companies, and it's a specific, like 30 days after the bill. Like, it's all very specific when they were billing their clients and then when they were paying the media entities. And this bookkeeper really had never worked with this type of business. She kind of really messed up. And like, to Sue's point, she had access to all of his banking and to all of his books, and it was a really big mess to clean up. So if you do decide, if you're in a situation where you do need that extra hand eventually, make sure it's someone you trust and somebody that knows your industry. I think that's something important to consider. I don't know if you guys want to add anything to those comments.
Yeah, I think just understanding what you need to be done. And it's not like we're going through simplifying it. We think, oh, I have to be an accountant, or I have to do double ledgers, and I don't even know what that means. Understanding the simplicity of what you need to do, keeping track of it yourself, and not handing it over to someone. And I'll ask people, how are your books? And it's like, I don't know. I'll call my accountant. And you need to know that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So back into the second step. Let's keep simplifying it. We know we have to record, but now we also have to understand that we have to categorize. So I'm going to simplify what categorizing means. Simply money in and expenses, your money out. So think about your sales coming in, your service fees coming in, if you're making any investments in your business, it all has to be documented and categorized as the money comes in. And then it is really vital that you make sure you're categorizing and recording every single expense that you're spending, because every expense you have is, I would say most of the expenses you have are going to qualify as business deductions. And it's incredibly important to understand that your business deductions will reduce the taxes that you owe. So you have your gross income that comes in. When you subtract your business deductions, that equals your net income. And the net income is where your tax calculations start from. So you want to make sure that you optimize and keep track of every single expense so that you can make sure that you're taking those as deductions. So we're talking expenses, utilities, marketing, office expenses, travel expenses, if you're paying fees and subscriptions. So if you Google you can go to the irs.gov and you can download, put in there, search business expenses, and you'll get a full list of all of those deductions that you can take. So it's really, really important that you make sure you optimize and take every deduction that you're entitled to. So some tips for categorizing, and sorry, my mouse is moving faster than I am. Try to really streamline this and do it in real time. Like Josh was also saying, like when you do it a month at the end of the month, you may miss some of those important business deductions that you can take. So you want a way to do it easily and automatically if possible. And that's why tools like Lili are pretty cool. They level the playing field for us as small business owners. We have access to tools that are just going to make our categorization and our ability to take those deductions, they're going to happen automatically as we use these tools. So take advantage of all, and there's a lot of tools out there that do it. Make sure that you find a tool that meets your needs the best. But it's really, I want to urge you to not miss out on those opportunities to ensure that you're taking the business deductions that you so are entitled to. So the third R stands for reconcile. And I can tell you that a lot of businesses do not do this, nor do, we should personally be reconciling our books as well. So reconciling means just taking the bank statement and then looking at your expenses and your income and making sure that whatever the bank is showing are actual transactions that happened. It's really important to ensure that they match and to carefully look at those bank statements. They come once a month. So you want to make sure that all those business transactions are matching what your bank statement is saying. What you might find is fees that you weren't aware that you were spending, and maybe you can then renegotiate and figure out ways to bring down those fees, but also understand that those fees are actually also business deductions. So you want to grab those as well. Those banking fees are considered business deductions as well. So make sure you do it monthly and pay attention to bank fees. You can also, God forbid there's some fraud and like you didn't catch it like while it was happening and you see, wow, I didn't spend that money at Amazon or wherever, you can catch it in your bank statements as well. So make sure you pay attention to those statements. Sue and Josh, do you want to add anything to the RCR that we've talked about thus far? Sue, you're muted.
Sue, you're muted.
So expenses are deductions, and I completely agree with that. And that is one, really good thing of keeping track and being on top of your accounting. But the other thing is it's expenses. And I think I get clients kind of stuck on the deduction things, like what else can I have for deductions? You don't want to spend too much. You want to make sure that you're spending money so your business can make money. It's not a game about how much can I deduct. It's spending the money and keeping track of it that your business needs, and also keeping track of those expenses to make sure that they're, and I know this is common sense and sounds silly, but they're lower than your income. You do want to be making some money.
100%. And that's a great point. So having these financial records, we can really analyze and say, wow, I'm bringing in this much revenue, but I'm spending a little bit more than I'm bringing in. So we need to readjust a little bit. And again, if we don't understand where we are on a daily basis, we're not going to be able to make those, we're not going to understand the health of our business. So it's very, very important, again, to have this system in place.
Yeah.
So
Like I always say, oh, go ahead.
No, Sue. No, you
I was just
go.
gonna say, you know, a lot of times people do their books or are concerned about deductions or getting their bookkeeping or an accountant because of taxes. It should be because to keep, you know, to make sure that your business is healthy and growing. And then voila, because you did books, taxes are going to be a heck of a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. So record, categorize, and reconcile. And I almost think I'm looking at 3 boxes of Josh, myself, and Sue, and we're kind of like the record, reconcile, categorize, and reconcile.
Yeah.
So think of that. Okay, I need a system that's going to allow me to record, to categorize, and then to be able to reconcile. And if that's all I do around my bookkeeping, I'm going to be in good shape. Like, I'm building a healthy financial, process for myself. Josh, did you want to say something? Okay.
I'm good.
So RCR, or Josh, Wendy, and Sue. No, RCR. So 3 bookkeeping myths. All right. So myth number 1. Bookkeeping is a never-ending maze of numbers and confusion that takes up way too much time and energy. Trust me, I have felt this way myself. But the truth is that if we, as business owners, only follow that RCR, the 3 simple steps, it's going to be much less confusing. We are going to be completely organized, and we are going to be in control. And being in control is a really great feeling when it comes to your business. So I hope that debunks that myth. Myth number 2, accounting software is just really, really hard to learn and manage. And oh my gosh, I'm in marketing. What do I know about accounting? Well, in reality, and modern accounting software it was designed for user friendliness. It has intuitive features, and it really, really makes it accessible for all. And we don't have to have financial degrees from top universities to be able to do this. So there's a ton of tools out there. Of course, I'm a big fan of Lili, but there's tools out there to help us manage our accounting software. To help us manage our bookkeeping and accounting life with easy to use software that makes it simple and intuitive. And honestly, I think it's getting easier and easier as AI, technology develops. Myth number 3, tax season is a nightmare. We all really get excited around April 15th. Well, in reality, if you followed and stayed organized through the year and followed record, categorize, and reconcile, we're just about 90% ready for tax season. So we're going to have all our records in order. We're going to understand what our profit was. We're going to understand what our expenses are. We're going to know what our deductions were. And then that's going to help us determine what our net income is. And again, that's where all of our tax calculations start. So being organized throughout the year is really going to help us during tax time. And if you do happen to use an accountant to do your taxes during tax time, you just have to give them the books and you're all organized, and it shouldn't take them too much time to file on your behalf if that is something you don't want to be doing on your own. So in review, small business bookkeeping is not as complicated as maybe you thought when you signed on to this webinar. If we focus on the 3 simple steps of recording, categorizing, and reconciling, we're going to have an organized day-to-day system. We're going to separate our personal and business accounts for better financial management. We're going to simplify information gathering by using fewer platforms. And we are going to find the right accounting software that's going to significantly reduce our workload, and we'll always be prepped and ready for tax time. And, if we do get audited, we will be very organized and ready for that audit. So with that, I want to take some questions, and I have some experts with Sue and Josh. Are there any questions?
Oops, yeah, I don't
No
see any
questions yet in the chat or the question answer section. So
Yeah, so if anyone's interested, you know, if you're at a point that you're needing to do a software program, whatever it is, or relooking at your books or cleaning up your books, that is something that you can give us a call here at the SBDC. Josh, do you want to drop in your email and the phone number?
I sure can.
I think most people, it's iowawestern.sbdc.com. So easy to find. But yes, and then also, you know, a lot of times if you're just starting on a bookkeeping program, like you've been keeping books on something else, and I don't know, Wendy, if you agree with me, but here, because of my experience, when I was trying to go back 3 years because I wasn't doing it, so I just never did it, and then it was 7 years. So I just say start this month and just put it in, and don't worry about the back. Just start now. Or a lot of times it's like, I'm gonna wait till January 1st. It's like, just start now. But don't go back.
I agree. Don't go back, but you do need a system. I do want to introduce everybody to Lili. So again, Lili is both a banking system. It's a bank, as well as it has these incredibly intuitive bookkeeping tools for you. And again, there's several plans, but the Lili Smart is just $20 a month, and it'll give you access. And by the way, the fee, I always tell people these are expenses. So if you are paying for your monthly subscription to Lili, that is a business deduction for you. So it's an all-in-one platform that gives you business checking. It's smart. We call it smart bookkeeping for easy categorization. So as you spend on your Lili card, so when you sign up for a business banking account, you start adding money to that banking account, then you're using your banking card for expenses, it automatically categorizes it for you. So you'll get, the minute you spend it, you'll get, hey, you just spent $6 on a Starbucks coffee. Is that a business expense? And you're able to swipe to the left and say yes, but you know, just in case maybe you accidentally use that business banking account for your personal, you can swipe on the right, but it organizes it all for you. It also automatically reconciles any of the transactions happening within the account for you at the end of the month. There's invoicing, and what was also really cool is it begins to pre-fill out some tax reports for you at the end of the year. There's zero minimum deposit. You can attach your receipts to expenses. And I did not update this slide, but the new API, so there's a business account within your Lili account as well as a savings, and the savings account interest rate is now 4%. I did not update that slide, but that just happened last week. You can get paid right into your Lili account through, you know, Wire. They have partnerships with Zelle and PayPal, etc. So you can get paid right in, track your invoices. What's really cool is there's on-demand profit and loss statements. So, you know, you can press a report and you can see how much income you have in, how much you're spending, and what that profit and loss looks like. And it'll give you those cash flow reports as well. So that's all automated for you. I really love this. It automatically puts money aside. You can set it up 20% of all income coming in. I want to set aside for my taxes and put it in a tax bucket. So that's really cool. So there's money set aside for you for your taxes. And if you need the money, you're not going to be penalized. That you can just pull it back into your business account, your business banking account. And then it pre-fills out some tax forms for you at the end of the year. So it's, I don't know if I've been asked a lot, like kind of the difference. I think QuickBooks is amazing. I actually, you know, use QuickBooks for one of my businesses. I find that Lili is a little simpler for the small business owner. If you have like a lot of contractors to pay, and a lot of like sales tax you're trying to figure out, maybe QuickBooks would be a little bit a better system for you. But Lili is like really designed for the small business owner. The integration with the bank to me is like key differentiator. And then all of that reconciling, the recording, the categorizing and reconciling is all automated versus manual. So those are, I often get asked, what's the difference? So I'm just kind of highlighting those differences. And I see a couple things in the chat.
Yep, we do
Josh?
have a question. What are basic buckets your expenses should be sorted into? For example, utilities, rent, etc.
You know what, Josh? I'm going to throw that, and I'm going to have you answer that question.
I
You're
can
probably better
go
at
ahead
it
and I can go ahead and answer that.
Okay.
So what you need for taxes is basically operating expenses, payroll expenses, kind of big generalizations. The tax returns don't ask for things. But what you want as a business owner is what you want to keep track of. So what do you want to keep track of? What do you want to know you're spending on and go, whoa, stop spending on this? So breaking it down into like operating expenses, and you could just have one big chunk for operating, but I would split it up into like, what's my rent? What's my utilities? What's my office supplies? Internet and phone bills, insurance, license and permits, and then payroll expenses. What are the actual salaries? What are the payroll taxes? What are the benefits? You of course need a separate section for cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold are basically, if I buy a t-shirt for $10 from my wholesaler and I'm selling it for 20, my cost of goods sold is 10, right? So most businesses and most products and services have some sort of cost of goods sold or cost of services sold. So if I didn't sell that product, I wouldn't have spent that money. So what are those, and keeping those separate. On top of keeping those separate, just so that you know how your business is doing, if you have two different types of products, food and beverages, I would keep the cost of goods sold separate there. So it's really like what you want to be able to run reports on and understand about your business. You want to keep track of, separate marketing and advertising. You could separate within that, but marketing, so if it's marketing and advertising, what did I spend on social media? You could have one big category for marketing and advertising, or you could split it up if that's something you as a business owner wants to know what you're spending. Travel and entertainment. I can send out this list too. I'm going through a list.
That's great. Yeah. That's
Professional
great.
services. Yeah. But think about like
I know
what I want to keep track of.
Yeah. Like, so for me, I have I'm a marketing consultancy. So I look at, not really like, so I have a retainer fee that we use, on a monthly basis. But then I look, okay, so what is the cost? I'm paying a contractor. I have some software programs I'm using to manage this, account. So I look at all the costs that I'm spending, and that will also give me a look at like what my profit is on that particular project. So to Sue's point, it's really like, it's the stuff that you have to look at your business and what are those important things that you need to understand, because at the end of the day, you want to be profitable. You don't want to be spending more than you're bringing in.
And with QuickBooks, and I have not looked like deeply into Lili, but I'm sure they have it too. So when you're setting it up, they'll have suggested account lists for both expenses, income, and every other account that you're going to create for your type of business. So it'd be like, are you retail? And then here's a suggested. Does that mean that you have to use everything or that you can't add things? No, but those help and give you a good standard. And again, Josh,
Yeah,
and I can
exactly.
help with that too.
Yeah, and Lili, to Sue's point, yes, Lili has like a bunch of recommended categories that they allow you to use to categorize your expenses. But I think to keep things simple for yourself, it again is just to understand the why we're doing this, and the main thing is just start and have an organized plan for yourself to get started. Like, don't be intimidated by this. Every business owner has to do it, and find something that works for you is a really important thing, and some advice I'd like to offer. Some other questions?
Yeah, yep. Would Lili work for two businesses? in one hub. So basically, I'm guessing an umbrella business with two different businesses, or have two different companies. I know QuickBooks Online, you can have, two different companies.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking out loud how that would work. I would probably say no. It would just show the one umbrella company. You would have to probably manually understand, when you're reviewing the transactions and the income in, you could probably add it in, but no, I don't think it does. And that's a great idea for the future.
And this is, and Crystal Feather asked the question. This is something that I can work with you on, or you can ask me. I don't know the situation, but I think it is important to maybe create, just treat them as two different businesses. For accounting, for your bookkeeping purposes, for tax purposes, it could easily be added together, but that's something that we can discuss offline and kind of walk through if you wanted to do that.
And I do have another question. What distance or other parameters constitute a travel expense?
So it is my understanding, and anything 100 miles or more. So you have the same understanding?
I am not 100% sure on that. I know the other parameter is if you're coming to and from work, home, it's not.
It's not 100%. Yeah.
But I don't know if I ever, and that's going to be a state to state thing, I believe, or maybe not. No, that's probably a federal thing, but
yeah, but
I don't know that.
Yeah, if you work, so from my understanding, it's like a business trip counts as 100 miles or more in, like, if you need a hotel, airfare and stuff like that. But let's get you the answer, because I will say the IRS does change parameters, like, and guidelines. So we should get back with
so I mean, I think also you have to think of it as, so there's business travel, but there's also gasoline use for the everyday. If you're going and mowing lawns and you're driving 60 miles around town, that constitute as gas and fuel usage in both your car and your lawnmowers. So again, if it's just travel and I'm going for a business trip, but if it's actually getting the job done and you have to go to places to get the job done, that's different, if that makes sense.
Right. So you're taking your mileage as well. So you might be traveling, within, 20 miles of your home office or your office, you can take those miles as mileage deductions. And the standard deduction is each mile you take, you calculate, it's 62.5 cents, I believe, for 2023. That you can take as a deduction. So any mileage, but if you're driving from your house to your office to start work, those miles don't count. If you have a home office and you're going out to do your work, then you can take it from your home. But if you're going to a place of employment from your home, those miles aren't counted as business deductions.
So Carol Horner is one of our guests, and she also has a consulting business for many years and travels a lot. So her answer is mileage is a reimbursement. So any business driving counts unless the business owns the vehicle. And the amount for 2024 is 0.655.
655 for 23.
23? Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Carol.
Thank you.
So Glennae asked, I already have, I think this is for me and Josh. She already has and uses Quicken. Can I still get a consultation? Absolutely. We can consult you on anything. Quicken, unless it's changed, is not a business bookkeeping program. So it may be time to maybe look at something that can, and I haven't looked at it, so maybe it can do this, but I'm not sure if it can calculate certain business expenses and taxes and things like that. But Absolutely. We can consult you on anything. So give us a call.
It's really great that you have this resource. So it's awesome that you offer it, you
Yeah.
guys. Because it's
Yeah.
important. Yeah, it's
Yes.
important. Well, before we wrap up, if anybody's interested in starting, a free trial of Lili, you can sign up and get for attending today's webinar, you can get a free 30-day trial. And I would say visit their website at lili.co. They have a lot of great information. They have a great resource center. So definitely check them out. I'm honored to work with them because they really do have a real commitment to small business growth. And I think that's for a brand to really be there to really solve small business owners' problems. I think it's really powerful. So I appreciate everybody joining us. And thank you, Josh and Sue. I love the conversation. It always helps.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thank you very much for doing this, and we'll have you back anytime. And again, we'll be sending out our lunch and learns for the next year very soon. Lots of marketing, lots of AI.
Yeah, AI is like the hot topic these days. So
yes. So
everybody
all right.
be well, stay well and happy, and have a good fourth quarter. So, oh my gosh, it's almost that time of year.
So yes, it is. All right. Thanks for everyone for listening, and we'll see you soon.